Disney's Moana 2 has just come out in the movie theaters, so today I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful Moana doll cake using Betty Crocker's cake mix and frosting. So let's get started. You'll need 4 9-inch round cakes, and to make that I used 2 boxes of Betty Crocker Super Moist French Vanilla Cake Mix. After letting your cakes cool completely, put them in a Ziploc bag or use clear cling wrap and wrap them very well before putting them in the freezer. When putting them in the freezer, you want to put it on a level surface so that there are no dents or curves in your cake. Place a frozen 9-inch round cake on a cutting board and get a bowl that is 7 inches wide, so 7 inches in diameter, and we're going to cut around the bowl. Keep the knife straight up and down. And then what we're going to do is use this for the top of the cake because we're going to make a dome more for the dress. And we're going to remove the excess. Now keep this excess for later because we need it for the top. Next, we're going to take a second 9-inch frozen round cake, and this time we're going to use a 6-inch bowl. And I'm going to cut around it. And now if you don't have a bowl, you could make your own circle template, but I just have these bowls around, so I found it very useful. Again, we're going to save the outside because we're going to use it for the top of the cake. Now we need to make the hole for Moana. So in the center of the cake, make a hole that she will fit. So you could use a knife. I've used many different things. This is just to make holes in cupcakes. Then what I do is the top layer, I've already centered it. I'm just going to make an imprint on my layer below. And I'm going to make the hole so that it is consistently in the center of each layer. And we're going to do that to all 4 layers. So at this point, you should have 2 9-inch layers, 1 7-inch layer, and 1 6-inch layer with holes in the center. Now let's assemble our cake. I'm going to place one of my 9-inch cake layers on a decorative cake board. Then I'm going to add my filling. I love using the St. Delphor's raspberry fruit spread, but you could use frosting or another jam that you would like. I'm just going to apply a thin layer of jam to my bottom layer of cake, and I'm not going to go to the outer edge. Next, I'm going to add my second 9-inch cake layer, and I'm going to make sure that my center hole is aligned with the hole below it. I'm going to push it down. Then I'm going to add a layer of filling. Next, we're going to add our 7-inch cake layer, and again some filling, and finally our 6-inch layer. At this point, I want to double check that Moana fits nicely in the hole. And you can see I only need one more layer of cake, and I have covered her bottom half with clear cling wrap so that no cake gets on her. Now I'm going to add our last layer of filling. I'm going to insert Moana into the cake. And then with my remnants from the cake pieces, I'm going to make my last layer around Moana's waist. We're just going to take 4 pieces and place them around her waist. Then I'm going to push them in to get them nice and close to her waist. Now we are going to shape our cake. So I like using a non-slip mat, and I place my cake on top of it because I don't want it moving while I'm cutting. And as I'm cutting, I want to imagine a line from her waist to the bottom of a cake. And I'm going to cut along that line, and I'm going to do that around the whole cake. Next, I want to clean up the edges and then increase my angle of the line towards her waist. And you're going to keep shaping until you're happy with the look. I'm going to remove the crumbs and push all the cake in together. Then I'm going to make my finishing touches, and you'll see that I stopped going back and forth with my knife and I've kind of pushed it up. It is a sharp knife, but it is very fragile at the top of that cake. I'm going to reposition Moana, and I'm going to push in all my cake. Next, I'm going to take some crumbs and I'm going to fill in around her waist. I'm going to use my knife and I'm just going to push it down so it'll be nice and flat for when I'm applying the frosting. Today I am using Betty Crocker's Creamy Deluxe French Vanilla Frosting. I'm going to empty 1 can of frosting into a mixing bowl, and then using an electric mixer on the highest speed, I'm going to whip it for a couple of minutes. This makes it a bit easier to spread this frosting, which we are going to use for our crumb coat. Next, using an angled icing spatula, I'm going to take a dollop of that frosting and I'm going to apply it to the cake. I'm going to be very liberal with the frosting. I'm just going to keep adding these dollops and then gently spreading it around the cake. I'm going to do the whole bottom layer. You want to make sure that there is always frosting between the cake and your spatula. And then I'm going to keep moving up the cake. And it's okay that it doesn't look nice, and it's okay if there are crumbs going into the frosting, because that is why we're doing a crumb coat. All these crumbs will get locked into that frosting, and you will not see them in the end. Now, when you are doing around the waist, you want to be gentle because it is very fragile, so just make sure you have lots of frosting. If you find it's pulling the cake up, stop and go from a different angle. Next, you want to clean your icing spatula, and we're going to gently glide it around the cake just to remove the excess frosting from this cake, because this is just the crumb coat. We don't want it to be thick. If you've taken too much off, you can simply add it back on. Then I'm going to scrape down the cake again to remove the excess frosting. Now we want to clean up the cake board. So using a butter knife wrapped in a paper towel, I'm just going to glide it along the cake board, going close to the cake but not actually touching it. I'm going to remove as much frosting off the cake board, and then I'm going to finish it off with a damp paper towel. And then your cake board is nice and clean. Next, we're going to put our cake in the freezer until our crumb coat is dry, which is approximately 30 minutes. To check if the crumb coat is dry, we're just going to touch our finger on the cake and make sure that it feels dry to the touch. Now I'm going to get my frosting ready for piping. So I'm going to empty 1 can of frosting into a mixing bowl. And to get improved piping results, I need to thicken this frosting up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of icing sugar, also known as powdered sugar, to the mixing bowl, and I'm going to sift it in. Next, I'm going to add a pinch of salt to cut the sweetness. And then using an electric mixer, I'm going to turn it onto the lowest speed, and I'm going to just mix it for a bit just so that no powder flies up at us. Then I'm going to turn it onto the highest speed and mix until combined. Next, I'm going to divide this frosting into 3 bowls. You will want 1 bowl with lots of frosting for the brownish tan color that we're going to use for the grass skirt. I made this color using the Wilton icing color brown and copper. For your second bowl, you'll want a bit of frosting for the orangey red flowers. I made this color using Wilton icing colors orange and no taste red. And the last bowl has a bit of white frosting that we're going to use for around her waist and the details on the bottom of her dress. You'll want to put all 3 bowls of frosting in the fridge to chill for at least 30 minutes prior to piping. Now I'm going to apply the final coat of frosting to my cake. So I'm going to take a non-slip pad and I'm going to put it under my cake so that it does not move while I'm using the turntable. Next, I'm going to take a dollop of frosting and I'm going to put it about an inch from the bottom of the cake because the bottom part is where the grass skirt is, so I don't need to put this white frosting there. And I'm just going to make good dollops and I'm going to keep going around my cake. And this frosting that I'm using, I only used 3/4 of a can and I used an electric mixer and I just whipped it up before applying it to the cake. You want to make sure that there is frosting that is between the crumb coat and your spatula at all times because you do not want to pull up the crumb coat. It doesn't have to look pretty. We're just going to get dollops of icing and we're just going to go around the whole cake. To see the products and tools that I use in this video, check out the description box below. Then using the icing spatula at an angle, I'm just going to gently scrape the cake and I'm going to remove some excess frosting. I'm going to keep doing this along the whole cake. Now, if you don't have a turntable, you can do this by hand. Just move your hand around the doll and then continue around the back side. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to do an imprint technique afterwards where you will not see this anyways. I'm going to switch my spatula the other way and I'm just going to finish the bottom of the cake. Next, I'm going to make a small triangle out of the front of her dress, and I'm just making an imprint, and then I'm going to scrape that frosting out of there gently because this is where the grass skirt is going to go, and I want it to feel like it's underneath, so I don't want it to be above. Then I'm going to take the bottom part off, so I'm going to make a line because below this is where my grass skirt is going to be. Then I'm going to remove any excess frosting from the bottom of that skirt. Now on the left side, I see that it's not lining up, so I just feathered the frosting back in and redid my line so the front is exactly level. And I'm just going to remove that frosting. Then I'm just going to increase the angle of that triangle and remove the excess frosting from there. Then I'm going to imprint her dress. So I'm going to take my spatula and move it from the bottom to the top. Now this one I didn't get because the arm isn't up, so I'm going to move the arm and redo that. And I'm going to keep imprinting her dress with this vertical motion. So from the bottom to the top, I'm just going to pull the frosting, and it is gentle. I'm not removing frosting, I am simply imprinting it. Then at the front, I'm going to go at a slight angle and connect with the beginning and then angle up right to her waist. Next, you will need a piping bag filled with the chilled tan frosting and fitted with the Wilton piping tip number 16 to make the grass skirt. We are going to go from the top of the triangle and we are going to go down along the skirt. We are going to squeeze, move along the line, release pressure when we get to the end, and pull away. And then we're just going to fill in that triangle. If you need help preparing your piping bag, check out the link in the top right corner. Now we're going to do one more layer with this front because the lines need to be straight. So we're going to go from the top of the triangle and we're going to go straight down and we're going to fill in this triangle again with straight lines. Then we're going to continue around the bottom of the skirt. Line by line, we're going to fill in this section. Now, if your line is not perfectly straight and you see some white poking through, you can simply repipe over it. We're going to continue around the whole cake. And it looks great. It looks like it's underneath the white skirt above it. Okay, and then the grass skirt is done. I'm just going to go around and see if there are any parts that I need to touch up, like this one. Next, using a toothpick, I'm just going to remove any frosting on that cake board that I don't want there. Then we're just going to take a quick look at the cake and see if there's any things to fix, which this imprint I'm just going to redo. Next, you are going to need a piping bag filled with white chilled frosting and fitted with a Wilton piping tip number 3. We are going to squeeze and make a triangle, so squeeze, release pressure, squeeze, release pressure. Then I'm going to make an X in the center of that triangle. I'm going to do another triangle, and if you make a mistake like this, just simply get a toothpick and readjust or remove it and repipe. And I'm just going to continue these triangles and X's on the whole bottom of the cake. Next, I'm going to go to the other side of the cake and I'm going to do the triangles there first, and I'm then going to connect them somewhere in between the back and the front. I don't want to get to the front and realize that I don't have the proper spacing. And look at her dress so far, it's coming together great. Next, you will need a piping bag filled with chilled orange frosting and fitted with a Wilton piping tip number 190. We are going to make a flower on the bottom of her dress. So we're going to squeeze, release pressure, and pull away. Then I'm going to move to my right and do it again. So I'm just going to keep doing this around the bottom of the dress. I'm going to stop here and I'm going to go to the front, make sure it lines up with my flower to the right, and then I'm going to move left and then connect it with the other flowers. The reason I do this is because if spacing becomes an issue, it's better for your spacing to be off on the side or the back rather than the front. Next, we are going to deal with her sash. There are a couple of options. So an edible option could be using a sour belt, but what I like better is using an orange ribbon. It has a nice sheen to it and it matches her shirt perfectly. So I'm just going to take my ribbon and I'm going to start in the front. I'm going to angle it and then push it down into the cake and then go around to the back. Now I'm doing this in two pieces. So I'm going to end at the back and I'm just going to cut it at the center back. Then I'm going to add my second ribbon, again at the front, and then connect it at the back and finish it off with a cut. I love how the light hits this ribbon. Next, I'm going to add one more flower right above the ribbon. And one last thing to finish her off, I'm just going to use my white frosting with the piping tip number 3, and I'm just going to make a line around her waist to finish it off so that it leads right into her waist. There are no gaps at all. Now we're just going to put Moana's arms down, fix her hair, and move her necklace to the front. And look at this beautiful cake. I hope yours is absolutely priceless. If you enjoyed making this Moana doll cake with me today, check out my other videos. Happy baking!